Hello and welcome to the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today is Monday, September 11th, 2023. So as I alluded to at the very end of last week, Stronghold Digital Mining is participating in the H.C. Wainwright Global Investor Conference being held in New York City. Now, Stronghold is officially making their presentation tomorrow, Tuesday, September 12th, 2023 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Interestingly, at 1:30 in the afternoon, our friends over at Canaan are making their presentation at the very same conference. So you never know. Sometimes conversations happen amongst individuals, right, amongst companies at these conferences, and you never necessarily know what could come out of a conference like this. Now, Kevin Deedy, who is the H.C. Wainwright analyst, who I believe covers the technology sector of which Stronghold Digital Mining is included. I checked the website called, I believe it's TipRanks, and Kevin evidently has a price target for Stronghold Digital Mining of $20 a share. I'm going to repeat that. Kevin Deedy, the analyst at H.C. Wainwright, has a price target, a stock price target, for Stronghold Digital Mining of $20 a share. And according to the TipRanks website, that price target was reiterated or reaffirmed about 4 months ago or so. So I'll leave you with that as food for thought, given the fact that the stock right now is trading under $5 a share. So that's kind of where we're at as it relates to the H.C. Wainwright conference and, how Kevin, right, the analyst over there, what his view is of Stronghold. So I think that's very interesting. Now, a little bit on a broader basis, right? Hey, why are we there? Why is Stronghold Digital Mining participating in this investor conference? Well, I suspect we might be both on the hunt for capital as well as for potentially some strategic partners. Now, my intuition tells me that we are likely focusing on the roughly 25 megawatts of end-to-end data center equipment that we already have that we'd like to obviously plug in somewhere and then, fill it up with Bitcoin mining machines. Now, I did a little bit of math. If we were to fill that data center, right, that brand new third site data center, let's say we filled it with Canaan, Avalon 1346, 110 terahash miners, we would need about 7,557 Bitcoin mining machines to fill up that new data center. The total cost for that would be about $10,832,250, say about $11 million or so. Now, I'm not entirely sure how much it might cost to actually, transport this data center equipment to a location, how much it might cost to officially plug it in, so to speak, right, so that it can receive electricity. So then the question becomes, are we on the hunt for capital as it relates to just the money that would be needed to kind of get this third site up and running? Maybe. Or alternatively, are we on the hunt for the full package, right? Are we looking to, raise some capital to potentially fund the rollout of this, the entire data center, including purchasing Bitcoin mining machines for it? Now, this is where things get kind of speculative, all right? So don't take this as gospel. But given the fact we, meaning Stronghold Digital Mining, has been making an effort to be extremely capital efficient, my sense is that perhaps it's going to be more of a split deal. And what I mean by that is perhaps a portion of the data center gets filled with Bitcoin mining machines that we, meaning Stronghold Digital Mining, own ourselves. And then maybe another part of the data center gets filled with Bitcoin mining machines as part of yet another win-win hosting plus agreement. Who better, perhaps, than Canaan? I'm just hypothetically tossing out a name there. Who better than Canaan to perhaps be willing and open-minded to expanding even further the existing, win-win hosting plus agreement that exists with Stronghold Digital Mining and say, okay, hey, of the roughly say 7,500 slots that are going to be available at this brand new data center, hey, we'll fill say 3,500 of those slots with our, for example, A1346, Bitcoin mining machines, which have an efficiency of about 30 joules per terahash. Again, I'm just, this is all hypothetical. And then the remaining 3,000 slots would be a situation where Stronghold Digital Mining steps up and says, hey, Kanan, we'd love to just purchase these machines directly from you. I checked, I think they're selling for about $1,430, give or take a little bit. Again, I didn't, get down to the last penny as to the pricing, but that's like a ballpark range based on what I saw on their website. So I can see a situation where we're at the H.C. Wainwright and Global Investor Conference, and we're perhaps speaking to institutions, right, to talk about, hey, how do we add some fuel to this engine that we're building, right? Because clearly the goal seems to be, right, we want to expand our internal hash rate, and the best way to do that going forward, given at this point the relatively limited amount of space, both at Scrubgrass and Panther Creek, is to have a third site, right? This brand new data center, which would be roughly a 25 megawatt data center. And that, again, based on, say, for example, a 30 joules per terahash efficiency ratio per terahash, right? You do the math on that, it works out then to about roughly here, about 7,557 or 75 Bitcoin mining machines. So the other possibility, and this is a bit more of a stretch, I think, it's also entirely possible that we might be at this investor conference making the case for why we should get some funding so as to have a carbon capture system in place at both Panther Creek and at Scrubgrass that will then enable us to essentially apply for and presumably receive this roughly $85 per metric ton of carbon credit that was included as, I think, a modification to whatever, Part 45Q. It gets all into all this like minutia in terms of terminology, but basically there's money allocated in the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 here in the United States, right, for these carbon capture initiatives. And if you do the math, I mean, it could add up to potentially tens upon tens upon tens upon tens of millions of dollars. That is an incredibly interesting piece to this, which certainly merits additional study. It seems as if, though, things have been going on since early last year, meaning early 2022. So that could potentially be part of the pitch, so to speak, right, that Stronghold Digital Mining is making at this investor conference. But I'm inclined to believe that the focal point is this 25 megawatt end-to-end data center equipment, because we've got that already. Right? There's nothing hypothetical or theoretical or scientifically questionable about this, right? It's a matter of, hey, we've got the equipment, we got to plug it in, and we need to fill it with Bitcoin mining machines, and we need to get those machines mining immediately, right? So that we could start down the path towards getting a return on that investment. So that's what I think is going to happen. A bonus might be that, hey, there's some additional news or there's something in the slide deck pertaining to carbon capture. I mean, that would definitely be an awesome bonus, but I'm going to be perfectly happy and perfectly thrilled to see us making progress with regard to this data center equipment that we've got, and that we just need to put it in place, energize it, and fill it up, as I said a moment ago. So I'm sending a lot of positive thoughts, a lot of positive energy to both Matt and Greg, who are at the conference. I'm not sure if they're there today. I know for sure they present tomorrow at 4 o'clock. They're going to be available for one-on-one, investor meetings, right, with institutions. So this is a big deal. This is a really, really big deal. And so I'm very cautiously optimistic that we do well at this conference, and that at the end of this process, we achieve whatever goals, we have ultimately set for ourselves to achieve. Remember, I'm not there in meetings, right, to know exactly what's going on, but I'm just making some educated guesses based on what we all know already. So yeah, kind of exciting stuff. And finally, I'll leave you on the final thought that I want to keep reminding myself too. Our stock price is below $5 a share. Kevin, and again, he's a very, very, I think, well respected Wall Street professional. He's crunched a bazillion numbers. From his perspective, the stock price, right, that H.C. Wainwright has assigned to Stronghold Digital Mining is $20 a share. I think that's very thought provoking considering where we are right now. So, let's all kind of think about that. All right, with all of that said, let's be positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other again tomorrow.